Hello. I wasn't going to film anything today, but because I was supposed to see my dad for dinner, but he's not coming anymore. So, and I've got stuff on my mind that I can talk about. Yesterday, I changed my lock screen for the first time in probably like a year and a half-ish. Because it was just cycling through photos of my dogs, and one of my dogs passed away last February. And he was like my baby. I've had him since I was 4, probably. So I've had him like I've only ever known having him and like living with him and being with him. And he was very old, obviously. He was a pug, so like he lived a very, very long life. And I kind of knew that it was coming for a couple years. And it was just like the night before, something in me knew. And it was very scary, but like because of that and because I wanted to remember him all the time and like not let my mind forget anything, I set my lock screen to be pictures of him. And I think February this year I was probably getting ready to change it, and then in March my other dog passed away. That really sucked, because at least with my pug Gizmo, I was there. I was living at home when it happened, so I could like be at home and be with my family. But when our other dog passed away this past March, it was also kind of expected. He was 12 years old and he was a big lab and blue heeler mix, so 12 years old for a big dog is a pretty long life, pretty good life. And he was just old, and we could see him declining the past few months. So when he passed away, I was here, I wasn't at home, and I was getting ready to come home in 2 days. So that really sucked. That was really like, because it was, I think, right before spring break. And I debated skipping my classes, but I couldn't because I had exams. Like I had midterms. So I really I couldn't, but I wanted to be home. And my mom was on a business trip. So it was just my stepdad and my sister at home, and like my sister found him in the morning and he passed away in his sleep. So it was very, very sad and like very hard that I couldn't be there for his last day, and that he was without me and my mom, and like he was very attached to us. So when that happened, I added his photos to my lock screen to like shuffle through. So for the past year and a half, I've only had my dogs on my lock screen, and I love having them on it. But yesterday I changed my lock screen because I did like my whole phone layout to be different, because I've been wanting to change it for so long. And every time I change it, I just keep the lock screen the same. And I just change everything else. But yesterday I was like, I'm gonna change the lock screen. But I feel like really guilty about it. And I can't pinpoint exactly why. Because it's not like I didn't love those dogs, and like I've kept the lock screen, their pictures, to like cherish them more or anything, like they were my life. They meant everything to me. And my pug in his old age, it was like basically only me and my mom ever taking care of him and like doing all the things that he needed to be cared for. But I feel really guilty that I changed it, and I don't know if I should change it back or not. But I'm already like, it's been not even a full 24 hours yet. And I'm like, I miss seeing them. But I also believe that I shouldn't hold on to grief forever in the way that I am. And I should accept that they are gone. Because sometimes when I'm at home, I find myself still just like subconsciously looking for them. Like, I know they're not gonna be there, and I know they never will be. But every once in a while, like, hear something and like think that it's one of them. And I really miss them. And I don't want to cry, but I think I should cry because I haven't cried about it in a long time. But I feel like it's best not to move on, obviously, but to accept reality. I don't know, like, they were my babies. And they don't know that they were my lock screen, you know? Like, they wouldn't know any different, and I love them just the same. And we have, like, their little, like, a little thing with their paw print on it at home, and every time I go home, I, like, make sure I say hi and bye to them. And maybe it's silly to feel this way, but I just love them so much. And I think the worst part is because I get so much anxiety around my pet's health. Like, this morning Poppy threw up and I freaked out because she rarely ever throws up. And it was just like different than normal, but she's fine, like, it's okay. But it just, I get such bad anxiety about my pet's health. So the fact that both times with both of them, I knew it was coming the day before. With Gizmo, the night before, there was just something, and I was like, I think he's at the end, and that was really hard. And I went to work the next day, and then my mom came in sobbing, and we went and said goodbye to him. And then with Bandit, our other dog, God, I named him when we got him. But with him and not being at home, and then coming home for the first time and like seeing that he wasn't there, and the night before, my sister told me there was something in my gut. Like, I was reading my book in bed about to go to sleep, and there was something in my gut that said he's not okay. And I don't know how I knew both times. I don't know. I'll never have an explanation for that. But I knew. And it sucks so bad to wake up and they're not there. Which is why I loved having them on my lock screen, because then they were just always there. But it probably is best to accept and try to come to terms with it, because I don't think I've let myself do that, because it hurts too much, honestly. I don't know. It's just, it feels weird. But it's probably good for me. And if it's not, then I guess I can just change it back. But I feel so guilty, and I don't know why I would feel guilty about it. That's all I want to talk about. That's the most that I want to get into that. So, goodbye.